Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to focus on how to write a notice as far as class 12 for CBSE English is concerned. Now, before we get into what are the important things that you need to remember in notice, we need to understand कि notice भला होता क्या है. Some of you who are maybe from ICSE background would have done notice writing in class 9 and 10. But उस notice में और इस notice में थोड़ा सा फर्क है. For one, there is a word limit which has been imposed by CBSE, which is 50 words. So you have to be extremely precise in the choice of words और कुछ details वगैरह देने की जरूरत नहीं है, because notice by definition is something which is meant to be pasted on a notice board which is there in a public area, most likely in the corridor of a school, wherein you are not expected to stand and gather and read at leisure, right? It is meant to be a place where people are passing by and thereby you see a notice and you read what is the information provided on the notice board. Okay, so that is essentially what a notice is meant to be. So this is all part of the creative writing skills. We'll be doing the invitations, letter writing, etc. after this. So in notice writing, as per your syllabus, you need to know what is there in your syllabus. It is up to 50 words. You are given two options. So in that sense, you are spoiled for choice. You have two questions and you need to choose one of them, right? And you need to answer whichever you are more comfortable with. The marks allocated are 4 marks. Okay, 4 marks. You get 1 mark. Earlier it used to be 5 marks. Now they have reduced it to 4 marks, where you get 1 mark for the right format. The content gets 2 marks. Content is 2 marks, which is why I always say content is king. Your content has to be good, in which case you get 2 marks, and accuracy of spelling and grammar has another mark. So if you make a spelling mistake, if your grammar is wrong, and in this case you usually use future tense, and I'll tell you the reason why, that gets you 1 mark. So that is the breakup as far as the marks are concerned. So once you have understood all this, it will be easier for you to process ki, okay, I don't need to make these mistakes, the do's and don'ts as far as notice writing is concerned. Now let's move to what exactly is a notice. A notice is a written or printed information. ये सब रट्टा मारने की जरूरत नहीं है. This is for your understanding. It is a written, printed information or news announcement which is put on a notice board. Notices are either displayed at prominent places or published in newspapers or magazines, right? Usually you will get for, in a resident welfare association notice board, school notice board, lost and found, tours and travels, right? Those kind of notices are what you usually get. It is meant only for a select group. So if you are putting it on the notice board of your apartment complex, it is meant only for the residents of your apartment complex. अगर 50 घर हैं तो 50 घर में अगर 200 लोग रहते हैं, so it is meant only for those 200 odd people. It is not meant for XYZ people who are coming from outside, है ना? Since a notice contains a formal announcement, the language has to be very formal. It cannot be, informal. You're not writing to a friend. You're writing to a group of people. Some of them you may know, some of them you may not know. Obviously, if there are 50 people who are residing in an apartment complex, you may know 25 of them, you may not know 25 of them. Hai na? So, a notice contains a formal announcement or information. Its tone and style is formal. This is important. And factual, based on facts. You do not have to express opinion. Please remember this. No opinion to be expressed in a notice. If you do, you will lose marks as far as the content ke 2 marks are concerned. So your information has to be based on facts and facts alone, no opinion, and its language should be simple and formal. There is no need to use Shashi Tharoor kind of language. There is no need to use bombastic, flowery language. Keep it absolutely simple English. Okay, I hope it is clear till here. Okay, let's move forward. Now let's try to understand what you should do and what you should not do. There are some 14-15 points that I need to list out. So listen to this carefully. All this is in the notes, so not to worry. Specified word limit, 50 words. You need to keep to that limit. Do not make it 60. Okay, 50 can perhaps become a 52. That's okay, but do not make it too much over the word limit. Write the word notice at the top, and this has to be in capital letters. Notice, you can even underline it. That's also perfectly all right. Okay, in my thing, I may not have underlined it, but you can underline it also, not a problem. Name and place of the school, the organization in case of an apartment complex, society or association, or an office, which may be the irrigation department or the electricity department issuing a notice. That has to be mentioned on top. Which is the organization which is issuing this particular notice. Give an appropriate heading. A headline is important. Then the date on which the notice is being issued, that has to be mentioned. So remember all these things. If you miss out on anything, you will lose marks. It's only 4 marks, but 4 marks may say be cut karke. There's no point getting a 2 or a 2.5 out of it, right? So the idea is to score a 4 out of 4, which is possible. Clearly mention the target group for whom the notice is to be displayed. If it is for a sports day for class 10 students or class 11 students or class 12 students, mention the target group very clearly. That's important. That again comes as part of the content. Okay. 7th point. What is the purpose of the notice? You have lost a notice. You have lost your school bag. You have lost your identity card. You need to mention what is the purpose of the notice, because you want to retrieve it. You want to get it back. Okay. Mention all the relevant details, which includes these 3 are non-negotiable. You cannot miss out on these 3: the date, the venue, and the time. In case of, let's say, lost and found, the date you lost it, that approximate time, the lunch time, let's say around 12:30 p.m. The venue, I lost it near the canteen, right? So you can mention it even like that. Okay. Otherwise, in the case of an event, it's pretty obvious. The event going to be taking place at the auditorium on this date at this time, right? Or from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., right? So you need to mention these 3 details absolutely for sure. Your signature, you need to sign. Now, it's quite possible that you would be given a name. You could be given a name, let's say Alok Bhatia. In which case, you need to sign as Alok Bhatia. You cannot put your real name. I cannot put Sudhir as my signature while my name is Alok Bhatia. You know, ये तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. So remember these small things. बाद में मत कहना कि अरे मैंने sign तो मैं signature था, so I thought I should sign on my own, right? So signature, the name and the designation. Suppose you are the class rep, you are the sports captain, you are the head boy, you are the head girl. So you need to write the designation as mentioned in the question. Then put the notice in a box. Now again, for formatting reasons, I have not made a box, but you need to make a box for the notice. Please remember this, okay? Which you can make with a pencil also, that's fine, so long as it is clear. Date should be written in full, the date when the particular event is going to take place. Always write in 3rd person. You cannot write I. You cannot write I. You have to write in 3rd person. Please remember this. This is a common mistake which is made by many students. Should begin with. Now, this is again important. Every notice should begin with, this is to inform that the sports day will be conducted on such and such date at such and such time, whatever, right? Or it is hereby informed that. So you can use either of the 2 options, but every notice has to begin with this is to inform or it is hereby informed that. Remember this, do not make a mistake with this. In case of event, future time reference will have to be given. This is what I was referring to. You know, you obviously, if on today's date, you're going to have a particular event going to be conducted. Obviously, it will be at a later date. So you need to bear that in mind कि कब वो event conduct होने वाला है. Now, what kind of notices you get? I just already mentioned it. It could be event, it could be meeting, it could be lost and found, it could be tours and camps, tours and travel. Somewhere you're going on an excursion to Rajasthan, you would put out a notice mentioning that, okay, for a 5-day trip to Mount Abu and Jaisalmer and Udaipur, this is the amount that needs to be furnished. This will be the date on which we will be going. This is the time at which the school bus will leave, whatever kind of thing. You know, the relevant details will have to be given. So that is as far as the notice is concerned. I hope this is clear. Now what I have done is to put, let's go through one of them here out here so that it's easy. Okay, ABC school in New Delhi, this is how typically you will get a particular question, is organizing its annual sports day as Ravindra Jadeja. Now you have been given the name of Ravindra Jadeja. Okay, sports secretary, he is the sports secretary of the school. Inform class 9 to class 12 students about the various events through a notice asking them to participate. Add all the necessary details in 50 words. So what do? You put ABC school New Delhi, you put notice in capital letters. Now you can underline this, July 20, the date on which the notice is being issued. Annual sports day celebrations, this is to inform all class 9 to class 12 students that the school is organizing the annual sports day. So you are making the basic information. Day and date, this is the day and date. Then time, events, these are the events, the venue, and students are requested to participate and meet the sports teachers for further details before July 25, right? And then you sign and then you put the name. This is all you need to do, the basic information, and you have said that if they want further details, they can contact Ravindra Jadeja, right? And you need to sign as Ravindra Jadeja, right? This is all that you need to do as far as the notice is concerned. I put more questions in the notes PDF, so please go through those examples and you can just practice based on those examples. As I said, you will either get it in connection with a school or an apartments complex or on behalf of some kind of a department of the government. Tours and travels ke bhi aa sakte hain, but these three are the more common ones which are asked in the examination. At least one of the two will definitely be out of these three kind of thing: department, apartments complex, or a school. School being much more common. Okay, tata, bye bye. Any doubts, please ask in the chat box. Bye.